Imagine waking up in the morning knowing your job today is to lift an 80-ton rock. No cranes, no machines, no electricity, just ropes, wood, and thousands of people like you. This isn't science fiction. This was the daily reality of the workers who built the greatest structure in human history. 2.3 million stone blocks, 20 years of construction. And even after 4,500 years, the whole world is still asking, how? Welcome to the channel General Information, and today we are uncovering the complete secret behind the greatest engineering project in history. Before we begin, let me show you the numbers so you understand what we are talking about. The Great Pyramid of Khufu, the one standing before us, was built around 2560 BC during the reign of King Khufu of the 4th dynasty. Its original height was 146 meters, making it the tallest building in the world for more than 3,800 years, from 2560 BC until 1311 AD, when Lincoln Cathedral in England was built. It contains 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 80 tons. Its base covers 53,000 square meters, enough space for nearly 10 football fields. And if you lined up all the stones in a single row, they could stretch from Cairo to Baghdad and back. Quick fact, the total weight of the Great Pyramid is around 6 million tons, almost 1,000 times heavier than the Eiffel Tower. Who really built the pyramids? One of the oldest myths says the pyramids were built by slaves. That's completely false. The first clue came from Herodotus, the Greek historian who visited Egypt around 450 BC and wrote about the pyramids. Even he never said slaves, he said workers. But the strongest evidence came in 1990, when American archaeologist Dr. and Macy Roth was walking near the pyramids and accidentally discovered something unexpected. Excavations revealed an entire workers' city. The site included workers' tombs buried with honor beside the pyramid, huge amounts of animal bones, showing they ate meat regularly, not something slaves usually received, evidence of medical treatment, healed fractures proved doctors were caring for them, beer and bread, the workers' daily food supply. Estimates suggest around 20,000 to 30,000 workers were active at one time, organized into highly structured teams. The workers were paid with food, clothing, and housing. They were proud of their work. Some teams even wrote their names on the stones, such as Friends of Khufu and Drunkards of Khufu. The workforce was divided into specialties: quarry workers, cutting stones from Tura and macadam quarries; transport workers, moving the stones by land and river; skilled builders, placing the blocks with incredible precision; support workers, cooks, doctors, toolmakers, and administrators. There was also a rotation system. Workers served for 3 months, then returned home. This wasn't slave labor. This was a national workforce. How did they cut the stones? The pyramid stones came from 2 major sources. The main limestone blocks came from nearby quarries in Tura and macadam. The granite used inside the pyramid came all the way from Aswan, nearly 900 kilometers to the south. So how did they cut these enormous stones? Their method was incredibly clever. First, workers marked the cutting line on the rock. Second, they carved small holes along that line using copper tools. Third, they hammered dry wooden wedges into the holes. Fourth, they poured water onto the wood. The wood expanded and cracked the stone with remarkable precision. Archaeologists discovered an unfinished obelisk still lying in the Aswan quarry today, abandoned there for over 3,500 years. If completed, it would have been the largest obelisk in history. Most tools were made from copper, not iron. The ancient Egyptians had not yet mastered iron production, yet they still managed to cut granite using copper tools, proving an extraordinary level of engineering skill. How did they transport the stones? This is the part that amazes people the most. In 2013, archaeologists discovered a wooden papyrus logbook at the ancient harbor of Wadi al-Jarf on the Red Sea. It's considered the oldest written papyrus ever found. The diary belonged to an official named Mira, who described how his crew transported limestone blocks from the Tura quarries to the pyramid construction site. The process worked like this. Stones were cut in Tura, loaded onto large wooden boats on the Nile, moved through an artificial canal built specifically for the pyramid site, then dragged on wooden sledges at the construction area. And here's the genius trick they used. Ancient drawings show a worker pouring water in front of the wooden sledges as they moved. At first, scientists didn't understand why. Then, in 2014, a study from the University of Amsterdam proved that wet sand behaves almost like compact mud. reducing friction by nearly 50%. That means instead of needing 100 men to pull a stone, only 50 were needed after wetting the sand. Back then, the Nile River flowed much closer to the pyramids than it does today. During Khufu's time, water channels reached almost directly beside the construction site, making transportation far easier. But how did they lift the stones upward? That's the question scientists still debate today. Theory 1. Straight ramps. Workers built a massive sloped ramp from mud brick and earth to drag the stones upward. The problem? To reach the top, the ramp would need to stretch over 3 kilometers long, requiring nearly as much effort as building the pyramid itself. Theory 2. Spiral ramps. The ramp wrapped around the outside of the pyramid like a giant spiral staircase. This idea required fewer materials and seemed more practical, but archaeologists still lack clear evidence on the southern side of the pyramid. Theory 3. Internal ramps. In 2017, French-Egyptian architect Jean-Pierre Houdin proposed that the pyramid contains an internal spiral ramp hidden inside the structure itself. And surprisingly, cosmic ray scans later revealed mysterious voids that match parts of this theory. Got a specific question about the pyramids? Write it in the comments, and we might make a full episode about it.